Hello, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Excited for this one. Oh, we don't want to go into the building there. Guys, check out this livery. Somebody said you got to use the new Alitalia livery when we did that last stream into Florence. I said, you know what, you're right. I was going to do it in the 319, but I like that, the older one on the 319. This new livery, though, on the 320, but this one I got off the Matavia MOD, the threshold, or I guess it's the Matavia MOD website now because they have their own website, right? So I wish I knew who the creator was so I could give props to them, because this is just absolutely fantastic. But this livery I did get off of the Matavia website specifically for the 320 Matavia mod, and it just looks so good. I mean, that tail, oh, I love it. So I'm excited. Guys, how are y'all doing today? Welcome back to the channel. It was kind of an impromptu stream this morning. I wasn't really planning on streaming. I know I like to schedule them a little bit ahead of time, but around 10 o'clock or so this morning, some things opened up. As you know what, I'm not going to be around tomorrow, so I figured I would stream today. That way I don't leave you guys hanging for 2 days going into the weekend. But anyway, we're going to be taking this bird to Lugano? Gosh, I hope I'm not butchering that. But LSZA. So somebody posted this destination in the Euro Tour. Again, fantastic idea. And now there's a video. I appreciate y'all helping me with the charts there, trying to get the visual approach charts into LSZA. Now, Dutch Pilot Girl did a video on this approach in there with a 737. And a chart that I'm looking for, I haven't really found it yet, because I'm looking for something that has... maybe it's not even a chart. Maybe it's just a strictly a visual procedure. But essentially, we can't follow the glide slope down on this approach because it's 6.9 or something. I mean, it's insane. There's no way you can make it down in a 320. So you have to come in low. I'm not even so sure. It may be a vector arrival, a radar vector approach, or something like that. But essentially, it's boiled down to this: we have to be 1,000 feet, fully configured, stable over the water at 4 miles from the runway threshold. So as long as we meet that window, we should be okay. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to have the fixed info page to assist us with that, as usual, per Flight Factor. So that'll be a challenge, but we're going to have to use some old DME as well. Now, you kind of saw a flash of the seats there. The interior of this bird is extra juicy. Flight Surgeon says Lugano. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Lugano is where we're headed, and I'm ready to do it. So it's a shorter flight. It's only about 36 minutes en route. So I'm doing this full cold and dark, which it surprises me that you guys love seeing cold and dark as much as you do, because, I mean, I figure we do a lot of cold and dark stuff, but you guys want to see it. So we're going to do cold and dark. We're going to get in the airplane. Check this out. We'll simulate just coming up here over the air stairs, do a little pre-flight. You know what? I haven't done a pre-flight with you guys. I wish there was a way to walk around slowly. Wait, what if I go in here and then I just, can I walk outside from the inside? Will it let me out of the door? Probably not, right? No, it won't. What if can I exit out of wing view? Nope, I'm locked in. Oh, wait a second. Nope, I'm locked in. I was thinking I could do a pre-flight live on stream with you. We've never done a pre-flight before on this channel. I guess we can kind of walk around like this. Let's do that. I'm sure you're all getting seasick seeing me zoom around here. But essentially, yeah, I don't think this is going to work. This is too jittery for me. I need some kind of like walk and follow camera. But, all right, so we'll skip the pre-flight. Let's walk up the air stairs, though, anyway. And let's get this puppy started. We got a lot to talk about, making sure this approach goes off without a hitch. So we need to get in there. There we go. Ooh, love this Alitalia livery. Holger Teutsch, commercial pilot, welcome to the channel, man. I've seen you around quite a bit. You've been here on the channel a long time. Thank you so much for joining the channel. I'm glad you're still enjoying the content enough to become a member. Really appreciate it, man. Exclamation point, welcome. If you need to, I can't even speak. I haven't even got started. If you want to see your extra perks there, what you got to do. So positive rates in chat for, I hope I'm saying that right, Holger Teutsch. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I know you've been around a long time as well. So I just hooked up ground power to the aircraft. Now we can go ahead and get on the overhead here. We're going to basically start with our flow. We're going to come right up the left-hand side. That looks good. 27.7, 28.1. Get our batteries on. That's going to power up here for a second. Also would want to check, make sure the gear handle is down. Those are off. That's neutral. We're not frying the ground crew. 0-0'd out there on the weather radar. Vin, what's up, man? Nice to see you again. Have a nice stream. Vin, thank you so much, man. Dimitri says, if you had X camera installed, you could have done the walk around with your eyes closed. All right, I don't want to install, and I have X camera. I actually do, and I was using Q8's tutorial video for quite some time. Why are we not? Did I not turn on batteries? Batteries are on. Interesting. All right, I was expecting some other lights to show up there, but that might just be a bug. All right, anyway, we've got our, there we go, we got our screens powering up now, so let's go back to finish our flow. We've got that on the overhead, everything else is off, turn the nav and logo on, crew supply oxygen come on, ground control push button is on. Let's get the ADIRs into align mode. You all know we wait for on bat to extinguish in real life on on every single one. That looks good. We won't do the fire test until we actually have the self-test have been completed down here, so we get the alarms. Aleem, yes, I saw what you sent me, man. Let me just double check the Discord again, make sure I didn't miss something else new there. So the charts that you're sending me, a couple of you guys have sent some charts that have, it's basically a circle. I'm not going to circle. I don't even know if it's physically possible for this jet to do a circle to land on the runway there. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it closer. I know going in straight in, guys, it's only 4,600 feet. I mean, we're going to smash. Like, this is a smash zone on this airport here. So, Orion Vic, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Commercial Pilot, more positive rates in chat. Exclamation point, welcome for more information, man. Thank you so much for joining the channel. But I don't think we can physically circle. So what I was looking for was something similar to, like, I think it was Calvi. When we flew into Calvi, I had a PDF on my Avi tab that I used. And I was able to use that to get the kind of the radial DME and all that stuff for the turn. I don't know if that even exists. So I'll put a link for the video that I was watching. This is the Dutch Pilot Girl video. And you can see here, let me make sure that's the right link, actually. Oh, nope. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right. I think that's the right link. Anyway. But yeah, she flew a 737 in there, so I know we should be able to stop it if we go straight in. But we got to be careful on our fuel and our weight as well. So, Mr. Dillon, what's up, man? Welcome back to the channel. All right, IRS is in a line in 7 minutes. Let me pull out my flight plan. And while we're waiting on everything else to align, let's go ahead and load this up here. So we're going to initialize LIRQ LSZA. Dimitri, I apologize, man. I did not get your Florence sceneries in. I was planning on doing the stream tomorrow, but then when plans changed and I wasn't able to stream tomorrow, I figured I'll do it today, but I was rushing, man, so I apologize. It's still gonna look pretty juicy though coming out of here. What are we? We're continue on at 115. I'll tell you 115 now. We're 114 coming in here. We're gonna do a cost index of 5. We're gonna go over there at flight level 230. Initialize, align on ref, confirm. Now let's go ahead and pop out. Dimitri says the circle to land is only for A and B. Cat C is not legal, but it makes a hell of a challenge. Dimitri, we might have to revisit it. I do have the Aerosoft airport over there, and I think it looks really nice. So we may visit it again. We may sneak down somewhere south of Spain there, and then come back and do a circle. Try to do it. Circle in there in an airplane that it wouldn't be physically possible, or just go in super light. I don't know. Might be fun. All right, let's go ahead and depart here. We're going to be departing off of runway 5 on the... I don't have it in there. That's not good. JK... It's not on there. Missing on... here, I think it might be time to update. Let's see. LIRQ... Departure procedures. Now it said the Lome 5 Foxtrot. Interesting. This is just kind of a vector. What other? They have Merrill. Really? I have the MARE, but I don't have the LOMED. Interesting. What about the Kugix? No, that's not going to work either. Oh boy. Let's do this. Let's go ahead, insert just the runway. Is Lima, Oscar, Mike, Echo Delta even in our database? It is not. Okay. Oh, you know what? Because this is my CFM variant, I don't even have the AIRAC on this one. Yeah, look at this. This is old. Oh, boy. Oh, wow. That's a big oopsie on my part. Are we going to have anything in here? Probably not. TZO. I have, that's 127 miles. That's in there. Do we have an airway off Tango Zulu Oscar? So because I never really fly the CFM variant, I don't think I've updated this one yet. Oh, wait, no. Let's see. Zulu 98 Tango. Zulu 9802. Nope. It's not on there. Oh, boy. This is going to make for an interesting approach, guys. Some kind says ILS DME on it. Let me take a look at that, man. Not really, because I have that on my chart as well. I have it on mine as well. We'll take a look once we get airborne here, but we have to figure something else out. So we're going to have to kind of ignore that. Let's see if we can get this in here. We're going to do arrival. We're going to do the Golf 01, and it's the 7... Let me pull up my other Navigraph Charts app.
I can learn to...
Oh, Cortana started talking to me. Let me pull up my Navigraph Charts app from my desktop app. I know you can sync it to your EFB, but I just haven't done it yet. So we were supposed to do the Orion 7 Papa. So we've got that. Orion 7 Papa, insert. All right, so all is not lost. Actually, we could just go straight to Orion. We can just go straight to Orion. So let's look. I mean, it's only 200-something miles, so this is really not too big of a deal. Let's see if we can just load up the proper arrival, kind of work around it here. So there's only 2 arrivals, the 7 Papa that we can do from this side, or the 7 Lima. The 7 Lima takes you right into the runway, but I believe this is for a circle or a hold, and then you come back out and hold. So we definitely want the 7 Papa transition. You can see it's indicated here by 7 Papa. That takes you out to the start of the localizer. Now, we can't fly this inbound. This is insane. It's like 6.9 degrees. So at some point, we're going to have to break off and follow the river. It'll be a lot of fun. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's just do that. Let's go ahead and clear the disco out between those 2 fixes. And I might actually just go direct to Orion. Yeah, you know what? We're going to leave that. Once we go airborne, we'll go direct to Orion. I wish I had a different star out of here. Man, I wish there was a different star. I have the Balu 5. Seb Blaster. No, I have the charts for the approach, so it's all right, guys. Don't worry about it. I've got all those LSZA charts here on the Navigraph for the localizer. What I'm looking for would probably not be published unless you worked at a specific airline. What about this? Oh, we could do this departure. Let's do this. We'll do this off 5. We'll do the Baluk 7 Alpha. Or 5 Delta. Let's do 7 Alpha. Yeah, that looks good. And then from there, we're going to go to Orion. I don't know why I keep saying Orion. ORI. So look at that. Perfect. That's actually even better than... look at that. See, that's why I normally do my own flight plans. Look at that. Like a glove. Perfect. Too steep path, definitely. That's in the box. Let's go ahead and get out of here with the rest of that stuff. So nothing to hard tune on that RNAV departure coming out of here. Basically, we don't want to crash into the mountain on departure. Michael Rudolph coming in with 5 Chilean francs. Thank you so much, man, for your support. Really appreciate it. He says, I used to live in Lugano a few years ago. A great city with amazing food, nice lake, and cool mountains for hiking around. A bit pricey, though. I bet, man. I've only seen pictures, and it looks absolutely stunning out there. And I'm a huge lake guy. I love being on the lake. I love fishing, so I would definitely love being out there. All right, let's put LIRQ in our progress page there. Perf data, we're going to get to that here in a second. We'll do a quick return, LIRQ to LIRQ. Return that secondary arrival right back to the DME runway 5. I really hope we don't have to come back around because that was challenging enough to get in here. So the secondary is in the box. Let's just put in some quick and dirty perf numbers for the approach. I'm just going to put, I don't remember what it was, but we'll just put 200. And let's look at the current weather right now. We have clear skies, wind 040 at 10, 3024, which in European language is going to translate to 1024. And the QNH temperature of, what are we looking outside? Ooh, it's warm, 18C. 18C, and the magnetic wind 040 at 10 knots. Perfect. Set. That looks good. All right, now we got to look at the perf data. We really got to be careful about this going in there. So, how's our fuel? We haven't even loaded. Good. So let's come over here. Fuel page. I just call him over. What version of X-Plane? I'm on 11.4, man. Not running Vulcan, just running the last stable. ILTech says when I enter the final course on the runway and radio nav, ILS free, it says not allowed. Yeah, there's some bugs on the rad nav page for the TOLUS, man. It's not just you. You're doing it right. If you enter the identifier and it just says not allowed, it is allowed in the real airplane. That's how we tune it with the identifier, not the actual numbers or the digits, the numerical value. So it's not you. It's just kind of a bug with that page. All right, so let's go ahead and defuel. 4, can we dispatch? 4 is about 12,000. What if we did 3.5? A quick conversion, 3,500 kilos to pounds. I know it's not taking Jet A and all that stuff. That's about 7,700. Okay, I think we definitely take off with that. That's pretty low. Let's set that. Passengers, we're only taking 57 people. We're going to set that. So now let's go weight request. Perf data page. We're looking good there. 47.1, 25.0. That's 25.0. 47.1. That looks good. 26 minutes extra gas. So we're pretty much illegal, but that's all right. We're good. What do we got for V-speeds? 120, 124. We're going to do 120. We are getting out of here, guys. We're going flaps 1 Toga out of here because we've got a mountain sitting in front of us. Flaps 1, full Toga. Perf data has been set. Now we can probably start closing up the doors. And getting rid of him. And we can remove the chocks. And we need to fire up the APU. So we'll come here, prime it up. Let's get our fuel pumps on since we are fueled up. Seatbelts can come on. Auto for there. Put you were in nav 2 position. Excellent. I think this approach is going to be super beautiful going into Lugano. Constraint mode's on. We're going straight up flight level 230. We're not messing around today. We don't have a lot of fuel to be messing around with. Dimitri says 57 passengers. Someone is trying hard to get their light. Yeah. Oh yeah. We aren't messing around with this one, Dimitri. We come in. I've cheated death a couple times on stream with you guys with weight and balance issues. But there will be no cheating death on this one. So we'll go ahead and get rid of the ground service trucks as the APU fires up. Just look at this livery though. Oh, it's stunning. Especially when we come in over the water. It's going to be even better. Yeah, we cannot be overweight on landing going in here. I think it's 4,600 feet, not including the displaced threshold. I know I'm kind of ignoring some of you in chat right now, but now that we've got the programming done, I think I'll be able to catch back up to you here. Scott Morgan, what's up, man? He says, I'm hoping to get back into flight simming once I'm able to buy the game and a joystick. Heck yeah, man. Imago says, sorry, someone has probably already asked this, but when... Oops, just came off screen. When is the next episode of the Corporate Pilot professional releasing, and what is the release schedule for further episodes? I'm right now, episode 2 is already done. It's already uploaded to YouTube and everything. I'm trying to do it a weekly schedule, so that gives me enough time. If I have one episode done, I have the other one almost finished up and recorded. That way you guys don't end up having to wait. So episode 2 will expect to drop probably Monday, on Monday or Tuesday. Probably Monday, since I'm feeling nice. But I'm glad you guys are liking that. I don't even know what I have now, but I checked earlier. I had 70 comments on episode 1 of the Corporate Pilot series, and they were all extremely positive. Guys, thank you so much for that and being positive. And a lot of you guys were just really enjoying the whole series, and it makes me really happy that you guys enjoy it as much as you are. I keep thinking that's in the on position. But again, guys, that's awesome. Glad you're enjoying the content. I'm having a blast making it. I think you guys are really going to like episode 2. It's about 37 minutes long. About 37 minutes long. Captain Tom, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Is this the ground service plugin? Yeah, this is the Jar Design ground service plugin. Wow, look at the reflection. Is this real life? All right, we got Haley doing her announcement. There was no Alitalia cabin announcements for the BSS on the Flight Factor. I couldn't find any, unless I just was bad at looking, which is possible. So if you guys, I mean, I'm probably not going to be in the Flight Factor after this stream anymore, or I'm sorry, the Alitalia. But I know there's one for Tolus. I totally missed the boat on that one. All right, here we go. 230. Everything is set. Do we need a pushback? We do need to do a pushback here. Let's call it pushback.
Please show me where you want to go.
I want to go... It looks like they almost... I think, if I'm reading this right, does this mean the straight back and then they just blast you around? Let's do it. Let's just go straight back. What the heck? We'll make the turn out.
Grounded cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, we no longer need the ground power. That can come off. And we can remove the cargo doors. Do we have hydraulic pressure, hydraulic pump? Nope. Not. Oh, yeah, it is. You guys see that? So as the ground service crew shuts the forward cargo door, they use the yellow electric pump. And a lot of times I'll leave this hydraulic page up to see, because you can't hear it that prevalent in the cockpit, that whining noise. But I'll leave this page up to see when they're closing the cargo door. That way I know approximately how much longer we have till we push back. Aviation Tourist, what's going on, man? Welcome. Dougal says, RJ, great question. Try again at cruise. Let me scroll back up.
All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
RJ says, another real-world bus pilot here. Do you know if Tolus fixed their engine-out logic on the new 321? I tried to do some V1 cuts in the 319 and ran the same issues that you did on your check ride stream. RJ, I haven't tested any failures in the 321 yet, so unfortunately, man, I don't know. But yeah, there are definitely some bugs in the 319 with the engine failure scenario. I haven't checked the 321, though. We can go ahead and hide all of you guys back there. Let me get my checklist out here if I still have it up.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, stand by on the parking brake. Let me see if this is my check. If this isn't my checklist, then I'm just not going to do it. Oh, let's see. I do have it right here. Perfect. Normal checklist. Let's run it. Maintenance log and tail number on board and check. Cockpit prep is complete. Gear pins and covers removed. Signs. We are on and auto. ADIRS and nav. Fuel. 3.5 required, 3.5 on board. That is a little bit of fuel. Altimeters, we got 10, 24 set 1, 2, and 3 times. EFB checked. Windows, doors, and slides, they're all closed and armed. Beacon is on. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake is off. Straight back, clear to push.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Roger that. Thank you, ma'am. Cleared direct Fubar has become a private pilot. Fubar, welcome to the channel, man. Positive rates in chat, exclamation point, welcome for your new perks as a member here on the V1 channel, man. Thank you so much for joining the channel. Welcome. Mr. Dillon says to the 320 Neo with the Pratt engines, get that whine sound when advancing thrust. Oh, yeah, it does, Mr. Dillon. The FT Sim 320 Neo Soundpack is basically real life. I mean, I was so impressed with that 320 sound. Now, it might be a little bit exaggerated in the cockpit, from the cockpit perspective, but as a desktop simmer, when you're sitting at a computer, I'm okay. I'm totally okay with having a little extra immersion on the sounds. Now, you probably could even tweak your sound settings to make it a very realistic level, but I think a lot of you guys and a lot of home simmers would be disappointed with what we hear up front, because we really don't hear a lot. Like, you don't hear the APU, you don't hear a lot of the hydraulic doors closing, you don't hear a lot of the flight attendant announcements, unless of course you have your PA push button on or the cockpit doors open. So there's a lot of stuff that we don't hear up front. All right, everything else is good. Let's go ahead and start engines. We got good pressure, cranking one.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Oh, I was watching my engine start up, lady. Brake set, clear, disconnect.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Man, it is hot in my room. I want to turn the fan on, but then you guys will be here, though. Compared to the 7.3, it has a 320 family handle. I haven't flown the 7.3, but that's Zebo. It's believable for me, and I've never even flown one, man. All right, good start on 2. We're going to go ahead and fire up engine 1. We're going to go ahead and fire up engine 2 while we're sitting here. Got a short taxi out. Thanks for the smooth push. We'll see you next time. We'll do this engine start without the glass. Look at that spinner. Man, I don't love CFM engines, but the CFM Matavia MOD engines just look so good. I mean, that engine looks real.
Tow is disconnected and bypass.
Slam Kenneth says, I've always assumed the BSS packs are a bit dramatic.
We'll see you next time, and have fun up there.
All right, thanks for the smooth push. We'll see you next time. Yeah, they are just a tad dramatic, man. They're great from a cabin point of view. All right. We got a good start on 1 and 2. Everything else looks good. Now, it's a very short taxi out to runway 5, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go ahead and go back to the taxiway. Airport 10-9. There you are. All right, because we landed on 5. Yeah, it's basically a 180 and we're good to go. So let's go ahead and do everything right now before we move the aircraft. So engine 2 has been started. That comes back to normal. Arm U. We'll go flaps 1 from back here. Slats coming out. Oh, I love it. Don't usually start 1 or 2 when you're flying real live. Always start engine 1, man. Unless for some reason you're doing a cart start or your company procedures require you to start 2 first, which I don't know why they would. I've literally talked to an Airbus engineer in, was it Alabama? Wherever the Airbus facility is in the U.S. I think, I'm pretty sure it's in Alabama, right? Tuscaloosa? Maybe not quite Tuscaloosa, but anyway, he was on one of our flights, and I talked to him. I'm like, what's the deal behind it? He's basically the same thing I tell you guys is you start engine 1 first because now you have normal braking, normal hydraulics for steering. Like, it just makes more sense. If you start engine 2 first, you can't single engine taxi safely. I mean, you can, but you need to. Anyway, we got those on. APU bleed can come off. APU master switch can come off. Now, I'm sure there's companies out there that say, hey, start 2 and then 1 always, unless you're single engine taxiing. But here in the States, we don't really have that procedure. It's what I say is, hey, let's go ahead and go out, start engine 1. We'll take a look at it. If there's a line, we'll stay out on 1. If there's no line, we'll just fire up engine 2. You know, and if I start engine 2 first, then we're limited to always going out on 2. All right, flight controls have been checked. Auto brakes max, takeoff config checked. We'll hold off on that until we get away from the terminal so we don't fry everybody here. Taxi light, and thank you for the subscribe, man. Appreciate it. Let's listen to this. We're going to turn around here. Cinematic turnaround. Mobile, Alabama. There we go. Yes, mobile. Thank you. Wow, I need to adjust that rudder curve, huh? All right, and there's runway 5. So let's continue with the rest of our flow. That can come on and auto. That goes on. TARA. Weir's mountainous terrain airport is set. Flight attendant panel. Cabin ready. Oh, looks like we missed the takeoff config. Try it again there. There we go. Takeoff config normal. All right, we got to do after start and before takeoff checklist all the way through. So to do this, I'm just going to stop short of 5 so we can run this checklist. Brake set. All right, here we go. After start, engine ice is off. Yellow electric pump is off. Rudder trim 0. There it is. After start checklist complete. Before takeoff, gross weight comparison is complete. Pitch trim 0.5% CG set. V1, VR, V2 flex. We got 120, 120, 124. Flaps 1, no flex. Flaps, config 1 plus F. Config 1 plus F. Flight instruments checked. 1 FD2, climb nav looks good. Flight controls checked. ECAM memo, takeoff all green. ECAM status checked. PWS is on. TCAS, code set, TRA, cabin crew advised. Biddy brief is complete. Takeoff runway, we're going off runway 5, confirmed. Fuel, 3.3 required for takeoff, 3.4 on board. Engine mode selector is a normal. Bleeds and packs are set. Before takeoff checklist complete. Let me take a quick look at the box here. Basically straight out an immediate left turn. All right, let's do it. Alitalia 115, runway 5, clear for takeoff. Gosh, that looks so beautiful, doesn't it? All right, let me get my little display units out. And my dog has broken into my room. All right, let's go ahead and pop these up a little bit so you guys can see them. You ready to get out of here, guys? We're going full Toga. Spool them up 50%. Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Mantoga SRS runway. Auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. Neutral by 100. Wow, we are light. Look at this. V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Following the flight directors. This is a quick turn out here. We're navving. Thrust climb, auto thrust. All right, we're above our S speed there. I'd like to see a little. Why are we coming back to 140? Oh, is that really a limitation? Wow, they want you ripping out of here. So I don't know if that was a flight director logic error, because there's a speed restriction at 140 knots. That's insane. We're definitely overspeeding then. Maybe I should have briefed that. Well, we're definitely above 3,000. I mean, I'm pitching for the flight director. Realistically, 140, we could be going 20 degrees up. Matt Swimmer coming in with a $2 bomb, man. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate it. He says, what do you think about the Microsoft Flight Sim PC specs? I saw that they're out. I didn't quite look at them. I run the alpha, so I run it on my system with a 1070 card. So I haven't really seen what they're requiring. But, I mean, it runs decent on my system. At least the Alpha does. Okay, there goes our speed restriction. Now we're above S speed. So let's go ahead and retract one step to flaps 0. Sorry. Man, that was a rocket departure if I've ever been on one. I definitely should have briefed that. I apologize, guys, but there we go. We are out of here, man. Bye-bye, Florence. Clear Direct Fubar says, I'm having the exact issue these days. Wants to go to 140 during climb out no matter where I go. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, man. That was interesting. We're well above 10. Let's go ahead and kill some lights here. What was that? What? What happened? How did ECAM pop up? Alright. I do not know what that was about.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Alright, we're at a 10,000, climbing 230. What's our estimated arrival time? It's extra juicy right at 1730Z, so we're looking good. Complying with speeds on the departure. Mr. Dillon says, do you land in real life with auto thrust on? Because I saw in Europe they do. Yeah, you can. A lot of guys do. Like I said, I try to do it at least once a trip, maybe a couple times a trip. I just turn everything off. No auto thrust, no autopilot. Just maintain that hand flying. What am I trying to say? Familiarity, I guess. That's not the word I'm looking for, but yeah, you can turn the auto thrust off, man. Some guys turn the auto thrust off every approach. Unless, of course, it's required to be on. Guess Papa, is it worth to fly the bus using a yoke, or should I wait to get a stick? Ooh, that's tough, man. I would probably wait to get a stick because the fly-by-wire of the Airbus is going to make it very, I don't know, mushy, I would say, if you were trying to use a yoke. I know the Boeing has the CWS mode that's very similar to fly-by-wire. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it can't be done. But if you really want to enjoy it, you might, I don't know, unless you get a good deal on it. Maybe there's a sale or something, then pick it up. Because you can definitely fly it with the yoke. I'm not saying you can't, but you're definitely going to get more enjoyment with a side stick. Scott Morgan says, when you're flying the Airbus and using your Warthog throttles, I assume you're listening for the clicks, checking the FMA to make sure you're... Yes, I'm listening for the clicks in the FMA. Now, I actually use the SATEC throttle, so I don't have any detents, physical detents in my throttles. But yeah, you're listening for the clicks going into either Toga or Flex. Now, in real life, obviously, this is really... You can really feel the detents. I mean, you won't miss them, is what I'm saying. But in the sim, we have to really listen for those clicks, so you know, okay, 1 click, 2 clicks is Flex, or 1, 2, 3, you're going to be in Toga, where you just mash them because it's Toga. All right, there's Bullock. Up at above 12,000, and now we are on our way. So let's clear out everything we don't need. So it's kind of a hybrid approach here. So we don't need you. Get rid of you. Go back. Approach. IGS runway 1. 108.9. So essentially what we have to do, and this is what I was explaining earlier, guys, our arrival takes us to Pink Intersection, which is right here. Pink is, I think you have to be on the constraint, like at or above 5,000 or 6, something like that. Here's 9 miles out if you were out on the straight in. But essentially from here to here, there's no way you can make it in straight in. All right, here comes Mach Alt Star, leveling 230. Thrust is coming back. It's a short flight. We'll turn the seatbelt sign off. Let the flight attendants do their thing. You can go into all mode. Let's continue looking at this approach. So what I saw on the YouTube video, for Dutch Pilot Girl, thank you for the subscribe there, Gunnar, I appreciate it. They flew their 737 almost like they got vectored in right here. They kind of came in around this mountain, I think. They picked up the river, or I guess this is a lake, and then they flew the lake in. You're essentially flying the lake, and you have to be at 1,000 feet at 4 miles. This already wants to slow back, really? What's our cost index cruise of 5,000? 234 knots indicated? I don't know if I can do that, guys. That's really slow. How about a cost index of 10? 250. I can do 250. We're not going to fly 230. This isn't a turboprop. You want to fly 230 knots, you need to be in a Q400. So they flew in here, followed the river, were configured, and then ended up intercepting the localizer very close into the runway, kind of just as a last-minute guidance. So we're going to try to do the same thing. I'll radar vector myself around, basically getting set up, and we need to try to be 4 miles at 1,000 feet. So can I do fix info in this? Has this thing ever been updated? I don't think it has, right? LSZA. Can I put a 4 mile radius around? Well, at least let me do that. No, it won't even put a 4 mile range ring around the airport. Wow. Okay. So what we need to do then, if you want to shoot this approach and not be totally foobar, we need to figure out a way to DME, to get a 4 DME reference. So we know our localizer is 108.9 ILU. Now that's probably going to auto-tune, which should, oh, we got 108.9, but we're going to turn that off because we're actually doing an RNAV inbound. So we need to go to the RadNav page here, and I'm going to hard tune this, ILU, so it won't change. Yes, I want this one that's 117 miles away in my flight plan. So 108 or 108.9 is hard tuned. So now this will not auto tune away. But is there a VOR maybe? No. Okay, so the other way around this is to put it in the prog page. So LSZA. And we're going to use that reference. And you know what? I'll use the runway LSZA01. So I know when this says 4 miles, we need to be at 1,000 feet, fully configured over the water. And at that point, I will probably re-engage the LS push button to intercept a localizer close in. So that's kind of the basis of the approach. I'm just getting this all set up so I can talk in chat for you guys. So we're going to leave the LS push buttons off for now. Definitely using medium brakes. Flaps full landing. Full reverse. It's going to be a hard turn off at the end. We're going to have to do a back taxi. So we'll come in here, 10-9 page. Check this out, guys. 4,600 feet. So 4,600 feet, and we're going to have to spin it around. There is a little roundabout there if we need to do it. We can't take the grass taxiway, unfortunately, over 1.5 tons. So we're going to have to spin it back around and exit on Mike or November and back into the ramp. Probably take Mike so we don't have to go over the helicopter pad there and all the way back to Mike. Unless there's something else in the special regulations, which, of course, real life, you'd be reading all of these and be very, very familiar with all of these regulations. Plus, you would have special training on this airport, I am positive. I guess I didn't need 10-9 pages up there. So we've got our approach, and we've got our RNAV. Basically, right now we're flying to Serio, Oscar Romeo India, and then that puts us on the arrival. at or above 10,000, and then pretty much we're going to have to break off of the arrival ourselves. So I'm going to set 10,000 in the box just as a reference, and we're going to have to kind of make it up as we go, but it'll still be beautiful going in there. All right, we're finally caught up. Let's go ahead and turn down the volumes outside. All right, what did I miss? How short of a trip today? Really short, Donald. Really short, man. Only about 36 minutes in cruise. But I think it's going to be worth it once we get down there to the airport environment. Now, it may warrant a go-around. We may have to go around. We may have to do 2 attempts at this approach. I'm not going to try to go Maverick mode and nail it. It's going to be interesting. That is for sure. Cienti says it's going to be crazy. Yeah, this is going to be really crazy, man. But just look at that livery, though. That right there is the juice. Gazza says, I call the McDo or the McDo like the Mike Delta Charlie, like the MCDU. McDo, man. McDo. You know what? When I first heard the term McDo, it really bothered me, and I said I'm never going to say it. But they call it a McDo, man. Just something you got to get used to. Scott says, too bad the max auto brake doesn't work in the Airbus. Gets lots of thrust reversion standing up on the brakes. Max, so it's not that it doesn't work. It's actually not supposed to arm in flight. You do not arm the auto brakes to max in flight. It's only a RTO mode. OT, what's up, man? It says, have you ever needed to get special training for airport you've flown into? Yeah, there's been a handful. Burbank comes to mind, obviously. And Key West. That was one back in the day. I'm trying to think if there's any others. Just a handful, though. Oh, a couple down south. Like, what's that one in Columbia? The main airport in Columbia down there's got an interesting approach in there if the winds are doing funky stuff. Is it, not Cali. Cali's fun, but there's another one down there in Columbia. Oh, well. Been a handful.
Subscriber ahead.
Thank you for the subscribe there, Santiago. Appreciate it, man. Big D1 says, no go around. Come on, you can do it the first try. Hey, I'm going to try, man. We're going to try. Favorite aircraft, 727.
Subscriber.
Thank you for the subscribe there, Ronald, man. Appreciate it. Donald, sorry for being late. No worries, man. How can I copy the secondary flight plan? So if you, what we do, when I forgot to do it really, is the clear and copy. So you come into RadNav, you clear. Secondary, we just go ahead, copy active, boom. Now my active flight plan is in the secondary flight plan. So let's say I was doing something here in the box and I totally screwed up and I deleted a bunch of fixes. What I could do is just either pull heading or whatever configuration you're in and then just hit activate secondary and it will reload what you had. But it will only reload what you had when you copied it. So let's say, I just copied it, we're going to BurakUslu. Let's say our flight plan continued on, right? And there was a dozen other fixes, and we're about halfway down the list. If I go back to activate my secondary, it's going to reload everything that we already flew past. So you got to be careful of that. But that's no big deal. You just select heading and then redirect yourself to the waypoint that's in front of you. So that's what the secondary flight, that's how you can activate that secondary flight plan. Really is helpful for something like that or for figuring out fuel burn. Let's say if I did initialization here. So right now I'm landing with 2.0. Let's say I want here secondary and I went to the init. Thank you for the subscribe, Run Pilot. Appreciate it, man. Let's say we flew there at 12,000 feet. My secondary, we'd be landing with, well, that's not accurate. Well, maybe, I don't know, we're close. 2.1. I don't know how we get there with more fuel if at 12,000 feet. I don't know if that's accurate. But in real life, when they say, hey, can you, if you're thinking about doing a different altitude, I'll put in whatever that altitude is here, and then I'll look at the fuel burn in the secondary to see if I'm going to save any fuel or burn any fuel with that new altitude before I accept the altitude deviation or instruction from air traffic control. So that's another handy feature of the secondary. I don't know why it says we would burn more. It might be right because it's, well, 30 knots. I don't know. I'd have to try it on a longer flight to see. Thank you for the subscribe there, Simo. Appreciate it, man. All right, everything is set up there. That looks good. We're gonna get the cabin lighting all set up too when we get down there. UK Liam says Aer Lingus is a fully sponsored program. Training in Spain. I applied last year but didn't get in. Oh man, that's a bummer. Well, don't stop applying, man. Try again. James Lang, what's going on, man? Welcome. Peter Green says, just seen Dutch. You talking about the Dutch pilot girl video? It's a pretty cool approach that she did into here. Have I ever flown the old cockpits with... Are you referring to CRT screens? Yeah, I think I've flown some CRT screens. I think some of ours still have CRT NICDs. I don't know if they've all been retrofitted or not yet. Alex K says, Navigraph, both charts and AirRack update worth it because $80 a year is a lot. I agree, man. It is a lot. But I'm telling you, it's worth it if you really want to run these charts. Now, a lot of you have been asking for chart video tutorial. I might do something like that. I think it's a good idea, but it's just... it's hard to I'm running thin on time a little bit. I think when we get to May, about another week here or so, I think May will be much more consistent for me. I'm really going to try to stream at least 3 times a week for you, plus releasing those corporate jet videos out there. So, we'll see. Donald, I missed it. Upgraded to commercial pilot. Donald, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Speaking of my commercial pilot members, guys, I'm getting ready to record the podcast for this month. And for my commercial pilot members, what I do is I always, I put a post in the community tab saying, hey, if you want to ask me a question, you want to answer it in a podcast format, just post it there on the community tab. So all my commercial members, go ahead and navigate to the community tab if you have a question for me. And you can post your question there and you'll see it answered on the podcast. Now, the podcast to listen to is available for everybody, all my members anyway, whether you're a private pilot or commercial pilot. But you commercial guys do get a little extra. Plus, I'll probably set out a vote here for the next aircraft going out of this airport. But thank you again, Donald. Appreciate the support, man. All right. UK says get a 1-month sub and you'll fall in love with it. That's what I would suggest, man. You don't go for the full year if you're unsure. Do a 1-month subscription. See where it takes you. Micah says chart videos are hard because there's so many different types and variations. I agree, man. I totally get it. People have been asking me to do the same. Yeah, Micah, you look at some of the charts that I've seen here in Europe, man. I look at some of these, I'm like, what? It's things I've never seen before. But it's all there, but then you got to look at the index, and it's a very time-consuming video to do. So maybe a basic one. We'll see, though. All right, so how are we looking here? We are 12,000. You know what? Since I am in a constant fear of being high on this approach, I'm going to manually set 12, and I'm going to start us down early. So speed descent. TCAS is going into below mode. I think the lighting is just about ready to be juicified. Check this cabin out, guys. We're going to go dim in the forward, dim 2 in the cabin, dim 2 in the aft. Now, since we're on our descent here, I should have some time to do a quick cabin tour on this beautiful Alitalia jet. Let's take a look. Oh, it's not quite dark enough yet. All right. Well, I'll show you the lights when we get a little bit darker. But check out this cabin, huh? Look at the logo and the seat backs. These are all my members up here. All my mods and members located in first class, definitely. As we come back to the aft seats here, look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Any safety briefing cards? I don't see any safety briefing cards. But a beautiful cabin. Absolutely. And as it gets darker, listen to the sound change as we go through it. Straight up juicy right there. Ooh, look at this galley. This is what, like Space Flex or something, where you have two side lavs and then all the galley materials back here. All right, looks like we picked up our descent thrust idle, descent, and down we go. So I need to come back here. I'm gonna go seatbelt sign on. And we're gonna have to kind of wing this because I don't want to be super high. I know if we get to pink, we're gonna be too high. So we're gonna have to break off. Probably at Zulu Alpha 632 would be my guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and set 10,000 because we're definitely gonna be above 12 for Bravo Echo Golf. And down we go. So it would be my assumption, and I don't know if any of you guys have flown this approach, or maybe somebody's going to watch this video that's flown this approach in real life. Let me know in the comments if you get vectored in, or if there's like a published visual chart for coming up the lake side. Because I know a 7.3 and an Airbus can't make that straight in. Ryan, you're a modaholic? Dude, I'm telling you, it is addicting. That's why I told you guys in the very beginning, do not attempt this if you are if you're afraid you're going to get addicted to it, because once I put the Neo engines on the 320, it just went down. Actually, you know what? I blame it's all Carter's fault, because it started with the MD90 mod. For me anyway. I think he told me, or he posted a screenshot in Discord of putting the IAE engines on the MD88, on the Rotate MD80. And I said, you know what? I need that. I need those. And then FTSim had a sound pack for it. And then I just went down the rabbit hole. It's been nuts. All right, let's go ahead and look at the active sky briefing here. Let me do a refresh. Definitely going to need to have proper perf data here. QNH is 1025. Hasn't changed much. We didn't go very far. 1025, temperature of 15. That's nice and standard. Beautiful evening. Winds 210 at 3. Okay, that's good. Nice light winds. Transition altitude 6,000 feet. The MDA, this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to put 1,000 feet just so I know when this goes off, we need to be fully configured and stable over the lake at 1,000 feet. All right. I'm also going to do this. I'm going to select speed, 250. Speed, thrust idle, open descent. Now we're going to come in here, we're going to activate and confirm the approach phase. We have no room for air on this. No room for air. VAP is 123. We should be able to stop it, not a problem, as long as we don't float. We're on the vertical deviation right now, but I'm going to go definitely below that as we vector ourselves in here. Now this is one where I may even use a little bit of cheaty, and I hate to do it. But I might reference this map to cheat our way up the river, or up the, I keep saying river. Where's the airport? Is the airport right here? Let's look at the chart. Oops, not that chart. So yeah, it's this one. It's the one that's got two little things like goes this way. So we may have to use a little cheaty on this one. Now, if I had air traffic control, this might have been something that I should have had air traffic control on or done a VATSIM flight. Wait a second, let me zoom it out. There we go. That's where we need to be. So there's the airport. So we need to come this way and go sneak in right through here. So this is where we need to be over here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. All right. Looking good. 14.5, descending 10,000. Zulu Alpha 6.3. Look at this. And this isn't even ORBX over here. I wish ORBX did this airport. After seeing the approach in here. Ryan says there's no stopping now. No, definitely not, man. Jack says you're fairly certain it's always vectored. Alright. So I won't feel bad when we use the cheaty map then. Michael says X-Plane is so affordable. $500 later. Yeah, dude, it is. it's, you know, it's a legit hobby, and it's a hobby for, you know, not only for young kids and young adults that just want to have fun, but it can become a very serious hobby. You know, we all have different hobbies that cost a little different. I mean, just look at golf is a hobby and a sport. It's fun, but it's pretty expensive to play golf. Flight sim is very much the same way. It's an expensive hobby. I'm a big fisherman, so that's expensive. I got a lot of expensive hobbies. I should probably cut one of them back, especially since I don't know if I have an airline to return to here in a couple months. Ryan says, cheat anyway. If you have live passengers in the back, you'd use every resource at your disposal. Absolutely, Ryan. And if you do have an iPad on your company, you might have some type of GPS following something. But look at this view right here coming in here. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. Too bad we're about 8 minutes early. We're about 8 minutes early on the juicy time. Let me just creep it. There you go. I just creeped it forward just like 4 minutes. All right, let's do a quick look at the, I'm going to keep coming down. I'm going to set 8,000, and we're going to come back here. Oh, it's not quite dark enough yet. But how's that for some stunning scenery, huh? And that's default. Captain Canada says, thanks for the clarification and great info in today's stream. Appreciate it. Enjoy your arrival in Lugano. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Look up.
Didn't appreciate the comments about me being toxic earlier, but hey, man, it is what it is. Jack says, I'm aware with Lugano that you have to file your arrival 24 hours prior to arrival due to noise abatement. Interesting. Well, we definitely messed that one up, didn't we, Jack? Micah says, is it a hobby or is it a job? Good question, man. Captain Tom, I'm off to eat lunch. Don't pull the nose gear through the cabin. Dude, there are no guarantees on this approach. I guarantee it, man. No guarantees. I'll say this. I'm probably more nervous on this approach than Florence. And I was sweating it there when we went into Florence. That was pretty short, too. But this one can get really nasty. I'm going to have to, after this, I'm going to like Heathrow or somewhere with a 10,000-foot runway, because this short runway stuff is fun, but it's definitely wearing its toll. I'll be happy with a sub 320 feet per minute on this one, just because we're in the 320, right? All right, let's look at our chart here. Okay, we need to really start to do some stuff here. So I'm going to go speed brakes out. Let's go ahead and set 5,000 feet. Down we go. And we also need to slow down. So we're basically coming in through here, right? Yeah, we're coming up through here. So not the first river, the second lake, the second lake. Capcan says, did you see me say your name? It was more so your viewers, but it is what it is, buddy. Well, I'm not your buddy, number one. And no, but I did see you say, quote-unquote, real pilots being streamers. And the only two real pilots that I know of that are streamers are me and Flight Deck to Sim. So if you're going to talk shit about somebody, might as well just do it, you know, in DM or straight up. Doing it on stream is kind of childish, if you ask me. But anyway, man, appreciate it. Hope you can learn something here. All right, we're 6.3, descending 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select heading, and I'm going to give us a... Actually, you know what? We might be able to make it. Famous last words. We might be able to make it. A 180 on the speed. Maybe turn in direct law. No, we don't want to do that. I'm going to slow the gear down now. Alright. After this hill, we really got to get going down. So we're going to make a hard right, then a hard left. VFE next, minus 10, flaps 1. Here we go. I'm going to come all the way back to 100 and... let's do 150 knots. 4,000 descent. VFNX minus 10 flaps 2. Down we go. VFNX minus 10 flaps 3.
Subscriber ahead.
Thrust set, thanks for the subscribe, man. Appreciate it. Welcome aboard, dude. James Lang says, let the haters hate. They won. Never mind them. I appreciate it, man. Dude, you got to have thick skin to do this for sure. I mean, it is what it is. We're not going to get into it on stream, but I'm pretty sure we're already past where we need to be. Yeah, we are. Do we have to go? We got to go through that valley. We may have already screwed this one up. Coming right. Maintain one. Let's go back to 145 on the speed. We definitely overshot that. Alright, so we're not going to fly around in the mountains all jacked up. So I'm going to climb 5,000. I'm going to set speed. We're going to do a soft. This is kind of, you guys want to see soft go-arounds. I'm going to select 180 knots. Gear up. Open climb. We're going to recycle and come back around because we overshot our mountain there. We overshot his mountain on that one. So let's come back around. We're not going to be flying around the mountains down here. Up one step on the flaps. Speed alt star, leveling 5,000. So we missed our river. It was that first one. This is why you have a vectored approach. All right, let's fly 010. Come back around. When in doubt, go around, Mr. Dillon. Absolutely, dude. We're not even going to mess getting low. This is still probably a questionable maneuver. But I think... Yeah, see, I just got confused on that one. We needed to be on this river. So I'm going to take us right to 160. We're going to go back out and we're going to resequence and we're going to come in through this valley here. So we're flaps to 180 knots. Gear is up. We're still looking good. We are still looking good. What was transition? Was it 6,000? We're at 6, so we're fine. We should go to 1025. Altitude alerter there because we didn't set our transition altitude, but it's okay. We're a little bit higher, but you could see there's a learning experience. If you forget to set your altimeter, if we were going high to low, look out below. Luckily, we were going low to high. We had plenty of sky. We were 300 feet high. If our altimeter was actually below us, we could have been in a more dangerous situation. We could have been 300 feet low here, which would not have been good. So we dodged one bullet so far. So let's go ahead and make sure we don't do that again. Self-vectoring with the map is probably not an authorized procedure. Note taken. At least the lights will be on when we turn in there. So that's where we need to be. This is where we're going to go. Not this one. So this is where we need to be. How's our fuel doing? Okay, so now is the time. If you guys weren't nervous before, now's the time to be nervous because we're getting low on gas. Oh my gosh, seeing these numbers, 1.9, I know it's in kilograms, but I keep thinking it's in pounds because I'm used to pounds. And that would be very low, 1.9. That would be an emergency, 100%. Okay, so I'm going to descend 4,000, right turn. We're resequenced for the approach. Alitalia 115. Do not screw this one up. 4,000, speed, thrust idle, open descent, flaps 3, 160 on the speed now. Let's turn us around. Around we go. Thank you, Michael, for the barrel.
Donation.
Captain Geo. Dude, I gotta read this. Hold on. Let me get on the, let me get straight in here, dude. I can't I cannot afford to miss this valley again. Let me get set and I'll read your message here, dude. Thank you so much for your support, man. $2 bomb. He says, well, I should have brought some hot weapons over from DCS to explain. I love your stream, brother. Keep it up. Gio, thank you, man. Really appreciate your support on the stream. Definitely hit me up after this. I'm thinking we might have to do some Huey action. I really love the Huey. I think you're going to love it too. All right, so we're back on track now. Let's go ahead and descend 3,000. Open descent. Speed coming back to 150. And there's our river. There we go. Now we're looking good. Okay, so we're ready to go now. We're 9 miles out. Remember, we hard-tuned that on the prog page. We're checking for that 4 miles at 1,000 feet stable. So I'm going to set 1,000. Gear down. Open descent. And we're hand flying. Flight director's off. Give me the bird. We're going to leave the auto thrust on because I'm scared on this one, definitely. We'll manage up the speed. Micah says, I trust you, you're good. Thanks, man. All right, now we could go straight in right here, but for cinematic purposes, I want to make a hard left turn there just because I saw him do it on that video, and I think it looked pretty cool. So we're 3,000 feet. Let's go flaps full. We're pretty much stable. Let's run a quick landing checklist. Cabin crew advised, auto thrust is in speed mode. ECAM memo, we're going to hold on that because we're still above 2,000 RA. But we are configured on speed. The bird is out. Shot of bourbon for the touchdown. If I get sub 320, I'll be excited. Take the... Okay, Strix. We actually might take another airplane through the Mach loop. But you've got a good idea. Cabin checked. We got to do the flight attendant panel here real quick. All right, so we're 2.5, and we're 5.7 from the airport. So I'm going to have to leave the McDo up there a little bit. There we go. Because we want to be at 1,000 feet at 4 miles completely. We're completely configured. So all we got to do is focus on the descent now. We should probably turn our lights on. Definitely getting... All right. ECAM status is a landing all green. A landing checklist complete. 4.8 to go. Oh, we can actually increase that rate of descent a little bit. Cinematic purpose. Yeah, that's cinematic purposes, CMT. That's what we're doing. Now, I think I could put the LS push button on here now. So you can, this is an actual localizer, but then we have that VDev flashing at us. I'm going to leave that up. I'm going to see what happens here. I think when we come around this mountain, I don't think my barrow is, well, yeah, maybe it is. Okay, we're 4 miles, 1,000 feet. Let's see how X-Plane does this. When we come around this mountain, there should be a glide slope on 108.9.
Glide slope.
There it is. Now it's going to give us a jip whiz because we're on the visual. I can see the runway. We're actually looking good right now.
Subscriber ahead.
James Barr, thank you for the subscribe, man. Appreciate it. So this VDev, I'd have to read. I don't know because it's weird because we loaded an RNAV, but I'm looking to capture a loc here. So as we came around the mountain, we saw the localizer come up. So that's pretty cool that X-Plane has that modeled there. That typically that glide slope, you're not going to get it when you're anywhere between more than 30 degrees off center line. Now I'm showing 4 reds, but I'm pretty sure that's going to pick up here as we get in close. We no longer need the MCDU. We can hide you. There we go. See, now the glide slope is being, or the localizer at least been registered, so now that VDev went away. Interesting. I can't speak to if that's 100% realistic or not. But we're below 1,000. We're stable. Gear is down. We got that down, so prepare for smash. I mean butter. At least this replay is going to look nice. All right, 100%. I'm going to bring this in at least on 3 reds. So there's two reds. I'm going to purposely bring this in because this is sketchy as all hell. Coming in over the trees. There's 3 reds. 2 reds. That's a steep path. Holy crap.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard. Retard.
Oh boy.
5.
Overflared it. Oh my gosh, that was a near crash landing. Thrust, or let's see, spoilers, reverse green, decel. I'm gonna get on the manual brakes here a little bit harder. 70 knots. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... Where are we? I don't even know, man. I'm lost now. Lugano. I forgot the name of the airport we just landed on. That should tell you how stressed I got on that approach. We are down. I don't know about that flare, guys. I think those are one of those flares where if I'm flying with somebody and they do this intentional come in really fast and then flare at the last second and scare the heck out of me, that's kind of what I just did to myself. Let's go ahead and turn this puppy around. Look at that shot, though. Let's go ahead and retract the spoilers. Not really ever supposed to reconfigure on the runway, but since we're doing a taxi back, this is okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lugano. I'm going to come back in here. Dimitri, if you're still in the chat, man, challenge accepted for the circle to land. This airport is too cool not to come back to. This and LOWI. I'm stoked for the replay, though. We're going to leave all our lights on for the taxi back to maintain maximum visual... just maintain a maximum appearance on the runway so nobody lands on us. Gio says, I think we butter the bread. Micah says, you almost had to... Yeah. Yeah, Micah, we almost had to go around. You know what? I didn't even think. I don't know if this is just the way the scenery is modded, but I had a very hard time seeing any markings on the runway. I'm probably 100% sure that we went past the 1,000-footers, but I didn't even see them. I did not see them. So I don't know if that's just the way, maybe they're faint in real life, or maybe it's just kind of the combination of the LED lights and the Aerosoft scenery. But that's one thing where I was like, I don't see any markers. So I just kind of put it down. All right, we're going to make the next turn off here on a mic. This is a tight ramp here. Turn on the overhead lights. I'm just going to go straight in here. We'll go ahead and kill the taxi light. Look at this. This is so cool, though. Lugano Airport. Now, I don't know. We don't have any marshallers, so we'll just do the cheaty. We'll do the Captain Geo view right here. That's cool. You can see the cabin through the cockpit. Oh! As I go over the line into the terminal building. Brake set. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. APU is available. Engine 2. Seatbelt sign on. Beagle just broke into the room. Engine 1. Spooling down. Listen to that rumble. Organic Milk says, would it be better to lower during the approach rather than what you did, descending really steep at the end? You're talking about the flare? Organic, let's hang on, man. Let me look at the replay. I want to see what happened there. Because I think I just scared myself, kind of, coming in here. We'll diagnose it in the replay. But let's go ahead and make sure we can see the replay. So I'm going to disable real view first. Make sure that disabled. I'm going to throw you guys into replay mode. And let's back it up here. I got to study that flare. I'm pretty sure it was a near smash, and then maybe almost an overflare. I don't know. We'll see. Let's study it. That's the benefit of a replay, right? We can learn from our mistakes. But look at this view, man. I would be pooping bricks here on this approach if I was bad. Like, this is nuts. The flying that these European pilots do, man. Hats off to them, because yeah, there's some crazy stuff in the US, but there's like a dozen. Pretty much everywhere I've been throughout this Euro tour has been sweaty on the approach for me. So hats off to these Euro guys that are flying out here. I mean, you guys are on it. Daniel Smith says JetBlue flight. Yeah, no Alitalia announcements. Let me do a little. We'll do a little replay music since we don't have the FT-Sim Soundpack. I don't know which side would be better to stare out of. Probably the other side, right? Probably this side. Oh, that's a good view right there. Let's look at the sun reflecting off the water. Oh. Dean Michael says, great job and very entertaining. Thank you. Appreciate it, Dean. Micah says, I am getting the citation too. Excellent, dude. I'm excited, Micah, about episode 2. It's already out. I'm thinking, if you guys are a member... Oh, look at this. Whew, baby. That is beautiful. There may be a possibility. I have to see if I can do it through YouTube. You guys that are wondering about the corporate jet stuff, I may be releasing it to members early, but I don't know if I can do it through YouTube. So I'll get back to you guys on that. But if you're waiting for episode 2, definitely Monday, coming up Monday. All right, let's take a look at my favorite view here. So I intentionally brought her in at 3 reds, which is acceptable, especially for a 320. Coming in here. Now let's look at this. Oh yeah, a little bit of an overflare, and then we caught it. So this is what I'm talking about. This is one of those landings where there are guys that land like this in real life, and they scare the ever-living crap out of me because they come in at such a steep descent, and then they flare last minute. And most of the time, what happens is this. Either you're going to have a good landing, you're going to have a nice greaser, or you're going to do exactly what I did here, and you're going to get a little bit of a balloon. Now, this one was very small. Where did we touch down at? I don't even... Are there markers? Oh, there they are. So let's see. Okay, so we're down. Let's count stripes here. I can't see any of these stripes. So there's the markers. Here's 1. I guess 2 or 3. So we're in the touchdown zone. We're okay, but that was close. Let's watch from the tower. But yeah, normally I like to see just a nice easy flare and then just kind of hold it. I know a lot of you guys comment in chat like check close, hold the pitch attitude. A lot of you guys get that from flight deck to sim, which I guess is a Boeing method, and it works very well. It's very similar to the Airbus. What you don't want to do is do this. This is what I call the oh shoot flare right here. Just like come in steep, over flare it, and then you either butter it on the first attempt or you do a little balloon. But we were down. Wow. Guys, I'm gonna start the music. We'll watch one from right here. Have I ever crashed in the sim? Yeah, not on stream yet. Not on stream yet, though. Not on stream yet. Guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today, this afternoon. Appreciate y'all turning out. We had a good turnout. I know it was kind of a last-minute stream. Schedule just kind of opened up there. I won't be around tomorrow or maybe Friday. But for everybody hanging out with me in chat, mods, sponsors, donors, thank you so much for hanging out. Everyone just hanging out in chat. I love you guys just as much as anybody else. You guys are making a great community here at the V1 Simulations channel. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I appreciate everybody out in the Discord helping each other out with bugs. You guys are awesome. Keep rocking, keep the silver side up, and until next time, guys, I'm V1. See ya!